The year I arrived in Nigeria, 1972, in the middle of 1972, the war had just been finished 2 years previous, 2 years before, and there were still lots of remnants, carcasses from that war. On campus, there was one of the uh, conference halls that was called Princess Alexandra that had not been rebuilt. It had been bombed by the Nigerians during the war, and it the whole roof caved in, and it was left like that as a reminder. There was virtually no furniture available for members of staff on campus, who were all housed by the university, and they were supposed to furnish our apartments or houses, especially those that were young and new, like me. So when I entered, I found that there was a bed, there was a cooker, and there was a table in the lounge, I think, and some chairs. But I wanted a table in the kitchen, and that proved very difficult. They were asking me why I want a table, and I said, well, because there is no place to put the plates or anything, and they clearly didn't understand what I needed. And I didn't know, I later discovered that the furniture was really scarce because everything had been looted and destroyed. Another worse case was the one of the Central Library. There was there were lots of books, but many of them had been destroyed during the war. The Hausas, the army people from Nigeria, mostly Northerners, quite a number illiterates, had come in the campus accusing the Igbos that they were calling book people, to be causing the war, to be the ones that caused the war. Just like today you have Boko Haram, that is, the book is haram, is forbidden. Well, it was the kind of thing that was book is forbidden, and therefore they threw out books from the windows of the library, put fishes on it, burnt them. There were lots of things that were destroyed. Some tables from the library they tried to burn, but they were so thick, the wood was so solid that they couldn't manage to completely burn them. We inherited such a table one time because I was looking for a big table for the house, and there was still a hole in the middle, not complete, a partial hole caused by fire. So there were lots of destructions on campus. There was no church, and they were just trying to rebuild the church. So when we wedded, we had to use one of the classrooms. And then when I went to the village for the first time in December that year, somewhere along the line at Abagana, towards the south, going into Nnewi, along the way, then we found the remnants of what had been the major setbacks of Nigerians on the way, the major victory from the Biafran people. All these vehicles, jeeps, completely burnt down. It had been a terrible thing. I heard that many people had died, roasted, in that. And those vehicles were still along the way. Another remnant from the war were lots of disabled men, former soldiers that missed one leg or one arm, and they were there, trying to restore their lives. And we had also a number of mad people. They called them madmen, and it was part of also an inheritance from the war. All these people that had PTSD, post-traumatic disorder. But nobody called it that. They were just saying they are mad. And they were stark naked and walking about. And it took a long time for this to erase. But you know, even when the physical remnant of the war disappeared, it remained the trauma, and that has still lingered. Another thing on a more funny side was I went to the market looking for a bedding, just a bed sheet. And the only bed sheets that were available were strange. They were striped, pink and light green. So there was no choice. So I bought one, used it, and then after a while I washed it. And when I washed it, it became just the size of a cot for a baby. The whole thing shrank. You know, there was not much. But people were back in the market and they were happy. They were so happy.